What was I gonna say? Something about Mean Girls, something. Guys, today is a very special day because we're finally talking about the diabolical musical where the lead character cannot sing. Mean Girls 2024. I used to think I would spend every second I have. You may not know that I am a world-class performer on stage and on screen, because I'm not. I do think it's borderline criminal that I haven't covered this film, considering the original is one of my all-time favorite movies of all time. That movie raised me on American culture, more specifically high school American culture, and Rachel McAdams should have gotten an Oscar. This was also years before I learned how to speak English, so like half the references and jokes flew over my head. Like for example, Janice Ian D-slur. I had no idea what that meant. Did I Google it back then? No, because we didn't have internet. In fact, famously, Europe only got electricity and running water in the 2010s, so up until that point, it was like the dark ages. Yeah. All this to say, I absolutely love Mean Girls 2004. So going into the movie adaptation of the stage production adaptation of the movie adaptation of the 2002 novel was interesting. Interesting because they're no longer mean. In fact, Janice is borderline nice. And she was supposed to be the most vicious of them all. The only real mean girl is Regina, and she's not even the playful mean, she's just a straight up cunt. But what I didn't expect for this musical was for the lead character to be a bat singer. On every star in the sky. Oh. I don't want to live with what ifs. Unfortunately though, that is not the only qualm I have with this film. In fact, I have several. The jokes are watered down because now we're doing PG-13.
Jacob, get off my dick.
Hey, PG-13, please.
Told ya. Katie is no longer just from Africa, the continent. She's from Kenya. Miss Norbury and Principal Duval are married, which is like watching your divorced parents get back together. Like, don't do that. There's a reason why you separated in the first place. Ugh. Fetch is no longer old British slang and is in fact from this really old movie, Juno. I'm not okay. And some other interesting details I found, such as Paramount wanted to bring the original girls to the movie in some capacity, but Tina Fey was like, I can't just write them into the script. So she managed to write one of them into it, and the chosen one was Lindsay Lohan, because no one else needed a career comeback. And she was paid $500,000 for about 3 minutes of screen time. Christopher Briney, who plays Aaron Samuels, initially turned down the role because he had to sing for it and he wasn't confident in his voice. Smart decision. Then he came back because they cut all of his songs out. You know whose songs they didn't cut out? So thank you, Matt, for being there. Right. They cast Ashley Park of Emily in Paris fame as a French teacher because she originally originated the role of Gretchen on Broadway. And the casting of this movie was crucial to get done right because the original casting is so iconic and like lives on for generations to come. It'll never not be perfect. And this film kind of hits the nail on the head on a couple of them. The highlights of the film are hands down Renee Rapp and Ali Carvalho. They are the best singers and probably the best actresses. Everyone else, girl. And that brings me to my thesis that this movie would be a 10 out of 10 if Regina and Janice got together in the end, because this was all just sexual tension. You guys just need to figure it out, scissor it out. Don't cancel me. Special shout out to Jaquel Pive, who plays Damien. He was also great. And Avantika, who breathes a refreshing new airhead energy into Karen. Every time her face is on screen, she just has this lost look in her eyes. Perfect casting. An honorable mention perhaps to the fiercest casting of this film, Regina George's mom. Because first of all, side by side, these two ladies, identical, biological. Second of all, she was unhinged. She said, I'm gonna do crack before I go on set. And she did. And it shows.
I found your burn book.
And I love it. Because other than those fleeting moments where you can kind of forget that you're watching Mean Girls without the personality of Mean Girls, it really is just a forgettable musical. And you only really have like 3 good singers in the cast, and that's Regina, Janice, and Damien. Everyone else is just fighting for their lives to sound decent. But with all that out of the way, why don't we get into some mean girling, minus the mean. A lot of girling. Everyone's a lesbian in this movie. Kidding, or am I? Don't forget to subscribe down below as well if you haven't already, because you're gonna feel so much better and look so much better and hopefully sound better than the lead of this musical. But it won't be hard. Also, I will be singing during this video because copyright, that's fucked up. We don't want to talk about that. So if you want to sing along, I want to hear projection, okay? I want to hear you project. Thank you. The movie opens with Janice and Damien introducing the story. No, not a story. a cautionary tale. It's a cautionary tale of fear and lust and pride based on actual events where people died. No one died. And they open the garage door and all of a sudden we're in Africa. Yeah. More specifically, Kenya. And
I used to think I would spend every second I have.
what? Girl, speak up. Meet Cady Heron, who feels stuck in Kenya because she knows that there's something more for her out there. And she has successfully guilted her mom into taking a job back in the United States. In the original, she had a mom and dad who wanted her to get socialized and forced her to go to the United States. But in this version, she is eager to leave. I don't know why you want to go to the United States. Do you want to die? You'll probably get shot. And she turns her back on her mom and starts running to the tent and continues singing. And I wish she didn't.
Only try not.
One thing I like when they adapt musicals onto the screen is that they keep some of those stage elements. So she packs up her stuff, opens the tent, and all of a sudden, we're in high school. And after a little sing-songy dance, my God, it's never ending. Please stop. Suddenly,
Bitch, move.
work. She's introduced to the class and there's no joke of, welcome. I'm from Michigan. There's a joke about her being homeschooled and Miss Norbury says,
Homeschooled. Oh, that's a fun way to take jobs from my union.
and while Cady looks for a seat, her teacher starts rapping.
My name is Mr. Rep, and I take no.
Care of myself?
That was a good one. Obviously, Cady has no friends, so she ends up having lunch by herself in a bathroom stall, which is kind of disgusting. Like, how are you gonna be eating food and then someone else is taking a shit right next to you? Oh, what, kids at your school never took shits in the bathrooms? My middle school, those hallways smelled like ass. Luckily, she's approached by friendly teens, Janice and Damien, who introduce themselves, and Damien is too gay to function, and Janice is gonna keep calling Cady, Cady. See, some of the jokes of the original need to be preserved. They are, we volunteer to enhance your lunch experience. Let's get out of the shitter. Also, props to them for actually making Janice a lesbian in this movie, because I feel like the original, they were playing around the concept, and then by the end, she ends up with Kevin G. What's that about? And in the cafeteria, they show Cady around the several social circles present in the school, including the band table where people are practically fucking. Where's the decorum? Suddenly, the lights dim. The queen is approaching. And it's Regina George, who introduces herself with a slow tempo song. My name is Regina George, and I am a massive deal. My favorite line of the song is, this whole school humps my leg like a chihuahua. She calls Cady over because in a notion of average-looking kids, she doesn't recognize that specific girl that you honestly couldn't pick up from a lineup of 10 different girls. You really couldn't. She's like, why don't I know you? Oh, because I was homeschooled. Shut up.
Shut up.
I didn't say anything. And it's in this interaction that you can really tell the different choices made in playing Regina George. See, Rachel McAdams had this playful energy to her. It was like a cat playing with food before killing it. This Regina is a more updated, realistic version. It feels more grounded because she's a straight up cunt.
Anyone who would like Jason Weems to go back to his normal speaking voice, please raise your hand.
Someone also said that the original Regina would bully the new Regina. Yes. And we meet the rest of the plastics. Gretchen knows everything about everyone. That's why her hair is so big. It's full of secrets. Cut to the smallest hair in the room. And Karen is the dumbest person you will ever meet. One time I saw her put a D in orange. And the plastics have a little conflab and decide to invite her for lunch with them every day for the rest of the week. Janice loves the idea of Cady having lunch with them and listening to every dumb thing they say and then coming back, relaying it all, and they can just make fun of them. And Cady's pressed for friends, so it's not like she can just say no. So she goes along with it. And around that same time, Cady meets Aaron Samuels in her AP Calculus class. And I just love when they cast an average-looking white guy that you could throw a stone in that school and hit 10 different men who look exactly like him, but he's the chosen one. So naturally, all the popular pretty girls want to be with him. One thing I found disturbing looking into the cast of this film is that the guys who played Damien and Aaron were born in 1998, and then everyone else was born in 2000 or later. What the fuck? Avantika, who plays Karen, was born in 2005. This movie came out in 2024, probably filmed 2023. Huh? I need people who were born in 2000 or after to just know. Cady is absolutely besmitten by Aaron Samuels' face, and that prompts her to sing another song. Goddamn. Smart with math, but stupid with love, and terrible with singing. Looking at this man possesses Caddy with love goggles, and she smells a pen like it's a rose that he just gave her at The Bachelor. And the thing about musicals is that you really have to say yas to everything, because now Caddy is on a swing being pushed by a bunch of girls that she does not know, acting as a choir behind her. God knows she needs a choir, because her voice is, to quote my dog, rough. I'm sorry. She has lunch with the plastics, and Gretchen gives her the guidelines on how to be a girl's girl who's a girl's girl for the girls and not for the boys, because a girl's girl takes care of the girls. She's there for the girls, you know? But after Regina leaves the table to get some skinny food, of course, Caddy says that she might have a crush on Aaron Samuels. She's feeling like Zara Larson. I want to be a girl's girl, but what happens when a girl's girl wants a boy? I know that she's my friend, but I just can't avoid. Luckily for her, Gretchen is there and she tells her,
You can't like Aaron Samuels, that is Regina's ex-boyfriend.
friends' exes are totally off limits. Karen says, but I thought she dumped him for Shane Oman. Irregardless, okay, that's like the rules of feminism. Do you know how many years I thought irregardless was an actual word because of this film? But I love that word, irregardless. Yes! Gretchen says, I'm very trustworthy. Karen's had sex with like 11 people and I've never told anyone. Right. No thoughts behind her eyes. And when Caddy is invited to join the mathletes, Gretchen says, you can't do that. That's socially ruinous. Sorry, what? Did we really come this far that we can't even say social suicide anymore? Socially ruinous feels wrong. It's like an itchy toe. Nobody likes an itchy toe. Then the day comes when Caddy is supposed to go to Regina's house for the first time. But at this point, she's warming up to Regina. Regina seems nice. Regina George is not nice. She's a scum-sucking road horse. She ruined my life, is what original Janice would have said. But this is a musical, so we're gonna do it in song. She's the apex predator. Damien bursts into song as Regina storms the halls and everyone around her acts like animals in the wild. Janice and Damien know that Caddy is not allowed to like Aaron Samuels, so they yell at her a little bit. Are you fucking stupid? They get to Regina's house, which is an absolute mansion, and that's when Caddy meets Regina's mom.
Happy hump day, besties.
I don't actually know her name. I'm just gonna call her Busy because she's played by Busy Phillips, and Busy was busy pissing all over everyone. Yeah. No, not literally, like figurative. She's really good. Dominating the scene, eating it up. Her mom is Regina. If Regina graduated high school as a popular girl, got married to a nice, hot, rich guy, and then the guy went on to have a career, and she stayed at home, being a homemaker, not having any friends, and then clinging around her daughter's friends, trying to relive her glory days. That's the future for all of you popular mean girls out there. Desperately clinging to your daughter's teenage friends. Creepy. She says, we haven't had any new meat in our little lady taco in a long time. Ugh. Gretchen then shows Caddy the playlist that she created for her on Spotify to teach her about pop culture, and I just want to bring everybody's attention to the other playlists on this list, such as Squats and Apps Workout, Broadway Karaoke, Ariana Grande Hanukkah, and This Is Leah Michelle. That last one is just an audiobook teaching kids how to read.
You need to leave!
Karen, come here, I want to fix your eyebrows.
Can I still have two?
The girls then say stuff like, my hips are so wide, my pores are huge, my BO smells like crayons. Caddy then says, me too, I'm ugly too. Excuse the fuck out of you. No one here said they were ugly. They were just talking about very small, specific insecurities that they have about their own bodies. And I think that we should feel comfortable around our friends to talk about our insecurities without them going, oh yeah, I'm disgusting and repugnant too. Regina's mom comes back and she unearths the burn book.
I found your burn book.
Because Regina's mom is messy. But like, she was on crack. Busy was smoking the good shit. I love it. They go through some of the insults and, wow, they really watered these down. Shrimp, okay. Okay, sure. But Janice's insult is no longer Janice Ian Diesler, it's Janice Maik Pyrolez. I hope I'm saying her last name right, Maik, but Pyrolez, let's be honest. So the official updated story of what happened between Regina and Janice, according to Regina, is as follows. They used to be best friends in middle school until Regina got with her boyfriend Kyle, and then Janice was so obsessed with her, she set her backpack on fire. Pyroless. Regina then calls Gretchen annoying, and what does she do? She hides in the closet. So is everyone a lesbian now? Because I love it. In fact, they really reduced the male presence in this movie by a lot. Like, there's barely any men who speak, and when they do, it's completely inconsequential to the story. Shut up, go away. Gretchen then starts singing to her music box, asking it to tell her everything that is wrong with her and her body, in front of a horrified Caddy, who now finds herself in the middle of a musical that she did not sign up for, because she can't sing. And she keeps trying to leave the closet, and Gretchen keeps cornering her with her little song. Sometimes the movie's funny. Sometimes. Well, Janice and Ian regret yelling at Caddy for liking Aaron Samuels and decide to encourage her to start flirting with him in AP Calculus class. That way Regina will never find out. But Caddy is like really bad at flirting. First, she walks into class in these ugly ass pumps that Regina gave her, and that was absolutely sabotage, because what do you mean? Those ugly fucking things should never be seen on anyone's foot. Then she asks him if he likes gum, even though she has none. Then when he compliments her t-shirt, she says, "Oh, it still smells like sausage from the last time that I wore it."
Thanks. It smells like sausage from the last time I wore it.
Okay. And then on October 3rd, he asked her what day it was. October 3rd. And then she starts pretending to be dumb to continue speaking to Aaron, something that Janice has a problem with, because just because it works, don't make it right.
Fracking works. Redlining works.
I love Janice, the activist. But it's high school, and flirting standards are in hell, so Aaron ends up inviting Caddy to a Halloween party. Cut to Karen recording a TikTok. Guys, she is so dumb in the most endearing way possible. If I could have one wish, I'd wish for world peace. That's not how it goes. She starts singing, and it's all about being who you want to be, and hot, and sexy. Guys, that girl puking, is that lady from the trinket store in Obsession? Okay. Katie shows up to the party in a scary outfit, and Gretchen tells her, if you don't dress sexy, it's like you're slut-shaming all of us. And I can't argue with that logic, it's ironclad. Karen's song continues, and she says, and I quote, "I can be a sexy doctor and cure some sexy cancer." Wait, that's not right, is it? I can sexy cure some cancer? I can cure sex cancer. Sex cancer doesn't exist. I did it.
Yes, right.
After seeing Caddy and Aaron speaking flirtatiously, Regina puts her plan in motion. Tells Caddy, hey, I'm gonna speak to Aaron and see if he likes you back. You guys look so cute together. Then she goes to Aaron and she emotionally manipulates him into getting back together with her. Now in the original, Regina, she knows men, she knows they're simple. She straight up kisses him and that's it, they're back together. But in this one, lights down. Now we're in a music video with this ugly as sin lighting, this blue. Ugh. It's like a bad music video, but Regina basically tells Aaron that he only ever saw her for the hot girl that she is. He never looked deeper than that, and that's his fault. She gaslights him into kissing her and getting back together with her. And seeing that breaks Caddy's heart, so she goes to Janice and Damien for emotional support. And that's when they tell her what really happened with Regina all those years ago. Not the fake story, not the fake news. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not mean to. I will say this story, this backstory is much more diabolical than the original film, and I like that they gave it layers. Because in the original, it's like, oh, I'm having girls over for a pool party. I can't invite her. She's a lesbian, right? She's a predator. Well, in this one, she's a pyromaniac, that is, for people who don't, okay.
The truth will be told. Stay with me, Katie.
Like all history, this is emotionally layered and culturally dense. Janice and Regina were best friends in middle school, and at the time, girls expressed their identities through collectible plushies. It's these bastards, and they were everywhere. Regina gave Janice a BFF set for her birthday. Janice put a rainbow patch on hers. That was her way of coming out to her friend. And Regina put a patch on hers as well, out of allyship, because she used to be human. Cut to 8 months later, and Regina becomes obsessed with this gross boy, Kyle. And then one night, they're all playing spin the bottle, and Regina's worried that Kyle likes Karen more. So when Regina spins it and gets Janice, she puts on a little show. They make out. And Kyle's like, boing, bricked. And Regina's like, I knew she would let me. She's obsessed with me.
Not okay.
They got into a huge fight, and Regina started avoiding Janice at school. But did she give back the plushie? Oh no. She took it everywhere. She named her Sissy Liz, and she made everyone say good morning to it every single day, and it was very weird and very boring. And then one day in science class, Regina was making everyone say hello to Sissy Liz, and that's when Janice finally heard it. Sissy Liz was short for obsessed lesbian. Regina had been making fun of Janice this entire time, and everyone but her knew it. But hurt. So, and this is regrettable, Janice took her Bunsen burner and torched the doll. And Regina's backpack caught on fire a little bit, whatever. And then she was kicked out of school for the remainder of the year. So Caddy says, I'm so sorry. But Janice says, don't be sorry, Caddy. Now you know Regina's not your friend.
We are your friends, and we're gonna make her pay.
Enter the best song of the entire musical.
You know what friends do, they got your back, and they are fun to be around.
Which is just teenagers plotting murder. Revenge party. What's a revenge party, you ask? A party that ends with somebody's head on a spike. A party that ends with somebody crushed and alone.
And ugly crying.
A revenge party is like a party with revenge, is what it's like. This song also moves the plot along, and I think we need to start praising songs in musicals that move the plot along, because normally songs are just talking about feelings, basically recapping the plot that you just saw happen in dialogue, but in music form. In this case, they plot all the ways they're gonna try and take Regina George down. Caddy convinces her to eat Caltine bars to lose weight when it's actually to make her fat, but it goes to her boobs and she becomes even hotter. They turn the sprinklers on her when she's up there doing something for spring fling, and her makeup starts running, which turns into a fabulous look that they create a Snapchat filter for. What? She's real popular. And then Damien and Janice are like, well, sometimes the party dies down and you look around and there's no more chips and you decide to go home. But Caddy says, no! And this is my favorite part of the song because I think it's so diabolical that this portion made it to the song. Not only because, again, she can't sing, but also because she says, I can't even watch when she touches his hair, and I've watched a snake eat a cow. You saw what?
And I watched a snake eat a cow.
I think we need to unpack that. You saw a snake eat a cow. Okay, when was that? How was that? Do you have pictures? Now that I think of it, Caddy's casting is perfect because she's the outsider, so she has zero social skills, and maybe the more social skills you have, the better singer you are, and because she has none, she's terrible. She is the average girl who just comes into this new dynamic. It would have been even better if, as she becomes more plastic, she started singing better. That does not happen. Eventually, they realize the best way to get to Regina is through her best friend, Gretchen. After all, she knows everything about everyone. She's got all these secrets. So they convince her that Caddy is Regina's best friend now through candy canes.
And none for Gretchen Wiener's by.
And that prompts Gretchen to tell Caddy that Regina cheats on Aaron Samuels all the time with Shane Oman in the supply closet. Caddy, who's been dumbing herself down enough to get tutored by Aaron Samuels, who's also not good at math, tells him the truth, and he catches them in the act. And earlier in the song, Caddy said, and I end up with Aaron when she's gone.
Yes, bitch.
Actually, no. Because guess who Aaron doesn't go to when he breaks up with Regina? Exactly. He's now a sad emo boy who doesn't want to talk to girls. And Caddy, who's been dumbing herself down so much, gets pulled up by Miss Norbury because she's failing. So she tells her, I'm a pusher, Katie, and I'm gonna push you and push you and push you. And Caddy vents to the plastics, and Gretchen is like, what does she even mean? Like a drug pusher? Put it in the book, sweetie. So they write in the book that Miss Norbury is a sad old drug pusher. Talent show comes, and of course the plastics are doing Rockin' Around the Pole, because they do it every year. It used to be Jingle Bell Rock, but I guess that's no longer a classic. But Regina hasn't been rehearsing because Regina's perfect every year. She's more concerned over this massive pimple, which Karen calls a breast on her face. And part of the performance is Regina doing a handstand on Karen's knees whilst Gretchen holds her up. Whilst or while, I never know which one to use where. So whilst you mull that over, Regina falls flat on her face. Like, and instead of having a recovery and finishing the song like in the original, no, we cut to social media because we're in the era of social media and people start talking about how Regina ate so much shit on that stage. Her reputation is now in shambles and all of a sudden everybody remembers that she was always an evil bitch and that we should have never stand her. Instead, why don't we talk about this new girl, Caddy? Did you guys see her? She might even be hotter than Regina. Now we're gonna start talking about Caddy because we're high schoolers and we have nothing better to do than to talk about someone all the time. Obsessively. Following this absolute disastrous performance, Janice and Damien are done with their plan. They've done it. Regina has lost her hot boyfriend, and she no longer has the status of high bitch in charge in school. She's no longer the BICTH. But Caddy says, actually, I need one more lunch. Just one more, please, and then I'll be done. Because that's the thing with trying to overtake power. When you don't have power and you get power to take the power away from someone who has power, and then you have to relinquish power because the only reason you have power is to take the power away, and now you've taken the power away, so why do you want power, right? But you don't want to feel powerless, so you want to hold on to that power, a tale as old as time. Tale as old as time. Oh, that reminds me, Beauty and the Beast, she also couldn't sing, could she? Am I starting a series where the lead character in a musical can't sing? Send me your suggestions down below. Enter Regina into the cafeteria. The colors are muted. We are no longer having fun. Regina's wearing sweatpants and her hair in a ponytail. Escandalo. She's breaking the rules, so Gretchen says you can't sit with us. Regina says those rules aren't real. They were real when I wore that vest. Yeah, because that vest was disgusting. Then she says, these sweatpants are all that fit me right now. And Gretchen has a moment, Caddy, what do you think? All of a sudden, Caddy's now the queen bee. She has the final say, and she turns around, says, sorry, Regina, rules are rules. Regina's officially cast out, exiled from this small, lonely island in the middle of the cafeteria. It's a very specific table. It's actually very isolating. I don't know why they want to be plastics. And on her way out, Regina says, take a picture. It'll last longer, losers. And everyone takes a picture. I personally prefer when someone bumps into her and says, watch where you're going, fat ass. But I guess it's PG-13, so it's take a picture, it'll last longer. Stupid. That boost in popularity leads Caddy to be nominated for Spring Fling Queen. And she's very excited about it. And then comes the fateful weekend that changes everybody's lives in this story. Janice is a finalist at an art exposition, and she's going with Damien and Caddy. But Caddy's like, oh, I forgot that I have this thing with my mom. We're going to see Neil deGrasse Tyson. So no Ladysmith Black Mambazo anymore? What is going on? I know y'all want to change the story for a new generation of people, but do we have to butcher it so much? We can still maintain some elements. Like, they got rid of the dad. They were like, we don't need this testosterone nonsense. That I agree with. Fuck the dad. Who cares? No, seriously, I'd fuck the dad. I'm joking, guys. He's not even my type. He's too young. I'm kidding! Ah! Well, the plastics are in need of guidance. They just lost their queen bee. So they tell Caddy, you could throw a house party and then invite Aaron and then flirt with him. Because now Aaron is fair game. And Caddy's learning that life in plastic is fantastic. So she manipulates her mom, throws the biggest tantrum to emotionally manipulate her into letting her go to Janice's art exposition. When in fact, she's bringing home a bunch of teenagers to underage drink. So the party was supposed to be a small gathering of 5 or 6 people, but as is the case in American movies, it explodes into a fucking rave. Kids are wild. And Caddy is digmatized and on a power trip, and she finds Aaron in her bedroom, and they start awkwardly flirting over the pictures of her in Kenya. Meanwhile, Regina is at home, furiously running on this treadmill to try and shed off all these extra pounds. And then she finds out through her mom that Caltine bars is what they used to give her Nana when they wanted her to gain weight. Face, crack, scream. Ah! Back at the party, Aaron realizes that Caddy is basically a mini Regina now, so he walks out on her. She doesn't even have to puke on him like in the original. Caddy runs after him, slips outside, and falls on her face and at Janice's feet, who found out about the party from the 60 people posting about being at her party. And Caddy's like, well, I couldn't invite you. I had to pretend to be plastic and not know you. Buddy, you're not pretending anymore. You're plastic, all right. Well, Caddy's like, I'm sorry I can't spend every minute with you. It's not my fault that you're obsessed with me. No, she didn't. So Janice throws a piece of art at her that won a few prizes. No, it's fine! She also tells Caddy that at least Regina has the guts not to pretend to be her friend. You know, they may be mean girls, but at least they own it. They don't play fake like Caddy. Two-faced heron.
Heron? Like the illegal street drug.
Cut to Regina's revenge, which starts off in her bedroom, and we got red lighting like we're in another music video, but this one actually looks good, unlike that other Halloween party bullshit. She glues a picture of herself on the burn book and writes, this girl is a fugly cow. So no more fugly slut, because that was the funniest insult of the entire movie. Miss Smith, why would she refer to herself as a
Fugly slut.
And the song is like the Requiem or the sequel to My Name is Regina George and I'm a Massive Deal, which I kind of had a problem with in the sense that if you're such a massive deal, you shouldn't have to tell us, right? Like if you're such a massive deal, people should know who you are. And in the original, she made copies of the burn book and then spread them all around school. But in this one, she simply drops it in the middle of the hallway, hoping that some kid will pick it up and it'll spread like wildfire. And it does. It spreads like wildfire and chaos erupts in school. It turns into an all-out girl brawl as Regina sings, I want to watch the world burn. Principal Duval sees the absolute circus, so he pulls the fire alarm and orders every girl to go to the gymnasium.
Immediately!
The funniest part of this movie is when Tina Fey gets up there ready to sing and... Nope. Absolutely not. But she does make the girls realize that they're not just victims in this situation, they're also perpetrators of constantly talking shit about each other behind each other's backs. You gotta stop calling each other sluts and whores. Just makes it okay for guys to call you sluts and whores. So she makes everyone write apologies to someone that they have hurt in the past, and then they get up on that table, they read the apology out loud, and they do a trust fall. Karen apologizes to Gretchen and then does a trust fall face first. And this person apologizes to that person. Sorry for saying that you were dragging during Revenge Party. There was just so much pressure on us to move the story along through montage. What? I'm sorry. Does that mean that Revenge Party happened? Like, for real? For real? Because they cut Regina George in half during that. The lyrics literally go, and there's a magic act that saws Regina in half, and this time it'll take. So who is that? If that really happened, then how is Regina just whole in there? The implications of Revenge Party having actually happened as a montage to move the story along implies that Regina George was dissected in half. Dissected, cut in half, split in two. And then, of course, the person who doesn't even go to the school starts talking about feelings in Damien.
She don't even go here.
And when Janice's turn comes, Regina makes a snide comment. It's either going to be really bad art or a really good fire. So Janice says, fuck it. Yeah, I'll apologize. First, she confesses everything that she's done to Regina with the help of Caddy. Then says Caddy is just as phony as her. And then says, I want to apologize to myself. Because I'd rather be me than be with you. And there's another song. It's okay. It's fine. It's all about being you and not caring about what other people say about you. Sure. And then the song ends with Regina getting hit by a bus. And that's how Regina George died. No, I'm totally kidding. She did get hurt though. People take to social media to send Regina all the love in the world. Some even create GoFundMe campaigns for her. I just love it whenever someone has a medical emergency or a medical problem or simply needs to go to the hospital. They have to make GoFundMes. United States of America is a dystopian world. But everyone is on our side now because that's what happens when tragedy strikes you. So if you need me, I'll just be over there jumping off my window. Come find me, XOXO. My PayPal is, and the rumors continue, this time saying that Caddy pushed Regina in front of the bus. And whilst some people are living for it, like I would be, other people are like, no, that was really terrible. She's canceled now. Her reputation is also in the dumpster, and she's so sad. And when Miss Norbury gets put on leave for the allegations that she is a sad drug pusher in the burn book, Caddy stands up and pulls a Jesus. She sacrifices herself for our sins. She takes credit for writing that and then takes credit for the rest of the burn book because it's punishment enough to get hit by a bus. She gets suspended for 3 weeks, and yeah, her mom is kind of chill about it. Her mom is really inconsequential to the story. But Caddy goes to Regina's house, and I'm obsessed with the sign that Regina's mom put on the door. Katie then scores a 100 on her math quiz. She's back, and Miss Norbury has the perfect thing for her to earn extra credit. And that thing is the ICT State Math Championship Math Athletes sponsored by SeatGeek. You know what's not sponsored by SeatGeek? This video. SeatGeek, get in touch. And guys, the moderator of the championship is none other than Miss Lindsay Lohan herself. I cannot believe they're restarting the fucking building works. Oh my God, I have to hurry up. If you guys hear noise from outside, it's not me, and I can't control it, and I hate it, and I can't put a complaint because council don't give a fuck. They said you can make as much noise as you want from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Fuck me and my job, right? I'm having a mental breakdown. And after an intense confrontation, they reach a tie, 28-28.
Well, this has only ever happened once before.
What do you mean, Lindsay Lohan, this has only ever happened once? Because it was with you. And Miss Norbury is in the audience. Do you not recognize her? You have the same name as that girl. Which, by the way, I just realized Caddy is no longer a ginger. Damn. Ginger erasure is real. The girl from each team are called up to the front of the stage to solve an equation and break the tie. And after a tense exchange, the other girl gets it wrong and Caddy gets it right and wins the championship for Northwestern High School. Yay, Caddy! What am I? Oh my God. Pride Month is over. Yeehaw! But most importantly, while all of this was happening, everyone else was getting ready for prom. Karen decided to highlight her face with grilled cheese, realizing it looks really good. Girl, you are so silly. She's so Random and stupid. I love her. I really love her. Protect her at all costs. Damien pulls a classic gay high schooler move and goes to prom with 4 girls. Yes, that's how we do it. They love the gays, and we love the girls. The girls and the gays. Yes. And Janice has a date, and it's a girl, and she's fucking pretty. It's very unfortunate that she had 0 lines in the entire film, but at least they made it canon, even though we never see Janice kiss her. Damn. They still couldn't go all the way. Maybe they did kiss and I missed it, and if I did, I'm so sorry. The mathletes go to prom, and then Caddy runs into Regina in the bathrooms, and she apologizes for what happened to her. You know, she has a neck brace. But Regina's like, don't apologize for something that is not your fault. Never apologize for something that is not your fault. She then says, I like you, but this pain medication makes me like everyone, so, yeah. Regina's really chill. Like, see, Regina just needed to chill out to find her true self. Just a funny bitch. And then, against all odds, and because this is a movie and we need a closing off of the emotional arc, Caddy wins prom queen. And she gets up there and she gives a speech about apologizing to your friends, everyone deserving this crown because everyone took the time and everyone is royalty. And then she breaks the crown because it's just plastic. The placeholder metaphorical sense of the thing, of the crown of the plastic that she breaks and starts spreading around the room. She gives a piece to Karen, another piece to Gretchen. She throws one to Regina, and she drops it because she's hurt. Then she apologizes to Janice, and Aaron shows up, and they make up, and all is good in the world now. Everybody's happy. Everybody sings. The end. I hope this video doesn't alienate all of my straight audiences. I love our straight allies. Our strallies. That was so good. Strallies? Oh my God. Who's a strally? Comment down below. In conclusion, did I like the movie? Yes. Is it a good musical? Kind of. Are the songs good? No. Is the singing good? Some of it. Was it worth watching? Yes. Of course it was. Lesbian rights, after all. Could it be better? So much better. Ooh, so much better. It could have had a bigger cultural impact, and I think the biggest cultural impact out of it was Renee Rapp's interviews.
This man who owns a bus touring company. His name is Buddy. Yeah, fuck you, Buddy.
Fucking iconic. And also her song with Megan Thee Stallion. It's not my fault. But I feel like when marketing starts doing a little bit too much is because the movies aren't really that great. Like when Charlie's Angels, they brought like Miley Cyrus, Ariana Grande, and Lana Del Rey for that song. And the song was like, ooh, the song is kind of eating, which means the movie probably not gonna. And the movie left the whole meal on the plate, and it did not even bring it to the table. It did not serve anything. We just sat there looking at an empty table, and everyone was hungry. With Mean Girls, it's like, sure, yeah, but also no. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like down below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Click that bell notifications and never miss a future upload from me. Check my socials down below. So until next time, stay safe, stay sane, stay stupid, and stay stuttering. Bye, guys. It's a cautionary tale of fear and lust and pride based on actual events where people died. No one died.